I'd like to show you how to do those basic constructions. And so the first construction is to copy a segment, or to construct a segment congruent to a given segment. So here I'm going to start with a segment A, B, and to construct a congruent segment, I'm going to start by using my straight edge to draw a ray slightly longer than what I need. We'll label that one endpoint C. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my compass and I am going to open it wide enough that the point will be on A and the tip of the pencil will be on B. I'm going to swing an arc there to make sure it's obvious that I did that. Then I'm going to put my point on the end point of the ray and swing an arc that intersects the ray. If I call this end point C and this point here D, because they have the same radii, I'll be able to say that segment CD is congruent to segment AB. And so that's how you copy a segment. Next construction is to construct an angle congruent to a given angle. So here I'm going to start with an angle. And so I'll call this angle A. And in order to construct a congruent angle, again, I'm going to use my straight edge to make a ray. And I'll call this point B. Now I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to open it to any radius that I want. So I'm going to, over here with this arbitrary radius, I'm going to put my point at A and I'm going to swing an arc that needs to intersect the angle in 2 points. Now without changing the radius, I'm going to pick up my compass, put the point at B, and swing an arc with the same radius. Now, it's important to have these 2 points of intersection. I'm going to use them. I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to open it to a radius so that the point is at one point of intersection, and I think I've got to do a little bit more adjusting. The pencil is at the other. I'm going to swing an arc here. Notice how my arc goes right through that intersection. Now I'm going to, without changing the radius, pick my compass up and swing that same arc above the ray from one point of intersection of the first arc, and they should intersect again. When they intersect again, it gives me an X. That's what I want. I'm going to connect that point to the end point of my ray using my straight edge. And what should be true is over here, angle B that I drew should be congruent to the given angle A. My next construction is to bisect an angle. So I'm going to draw an angle and I'm going to try to construct a ray that starts at the vertex of the angle and goes up through the middle, divides the angle into 2 congruent parts. In order to do this, I'm going to take my compass, and it can be open to any radius that you want. You're going to put the point on the vertex of the angle, and then you're going to swing an arc that intersects both sides of the angle. We need these 2 points of intersection. And now, I don't change my radius here. From that first point of intersection, I'm going to put my point there, and I'm going to swing an arc with the same radius on the interior of the angle. Then I'm going to pick up my compass, and from that second point of intersection, I'm going to swing an arc with that same radius on the inside. And if you notice, those two arcs, should cross. That point of intersection is important. I'm going to take that point of intersection, and with my straight edge, I'm going to connect it to the vertex of the angle, and I should have here two congruent angles. Next construction is that of the perpendicular bisector of a segment. And so this construction is also used to give me the midpoint of a segment. I'm going to draw a segment. This will be A, this will be B, and I want to find the midpoint, the exact midpoint of the segment, and make a perpendicular line to go through it. So I'm going to take my compass, and I want to open my compass so that it looks like it's more than half the length of the segment. And from one end point, from A, I'm going to swing an arc above and another arc below the segment. They have the same radii. Then, without changing my compass opening, I'm going to pick up my compass, move the point to B, the other end point, and also swing an arc above and an arc below the segment. When I swing those two arcs, I should have 2 points of intersection, one here and one here. And when I connect them, this point, M, should be the midpoint of AB, and I should have 4 right angles. Next construction is if I have a line, so this time I'm going to put arrowheads on it, and if I have a point that's not on the line, a point off the line, I should be able to make one perpendicular to the line to the point. In order to do that, I'm going to take my compass, and I just need a radius that will, if I put the point of the compass on the point, take my pencil to the other side of the line, and I want to swing an arc that crosses the line twice. Now here I'm not going to change my radius, and from both points of intersection, I'm going to swing that same arc, that same radius, on the opposite side of the line. Doing so, I have a new point of intersection. With my straight edge, I'm going to connect that point to the point that we started from off the line, and I should have 4 perfect right angles. Last basic construction. If I have a line, if I pick any point on the line, I should be able to make a perpendicular to the line through that point. In order to do that, I'm going to take my compass at any radius. I'm going to put the point of the compass on the point, and I'm going to, with the same radius, swing an arc, that intersects the line on both sides of the point. So here I have 2 points of intersection. Now what I have to do is I have to take my compass and open it just a little bit wider than it was. And from each point of intersection, I'm going to swing an arc on one side of the line. Those 2 arcs should intersect. And when I connect that point of intersection to my original point, whoops, if my fingers don't get in the way, I should get a perpendicular line. I should have 4 perfect right angles. Those are my 6 basic constructions. You can put them together to construct all sorts of other things. Those are done in the LiveScribe notes. Please let me know if you want videos of them.